Hey everyone, welcome to Holistic Lifestyle Tips, Getting Real About the Woo Woo. I am Becky Russell, owner of wellness company Hope Essential, and I am an essential oil educator and a holistic lifestyle educator. I just love to teach. I also feel compelled to share what I've learned on my 25 plus years of holistic living. And I was not blessed with good genes. So I decided to take a different path from disease treatment to getting to the root of an issue, which is holistic and treating the entire body, mind, body, and soul. And I think it served me well. I am 62, and by all rights, I should have been diagnosed as a diabetic in my late 30s, early 40s, like many of my family. And I am not in perfect health by any means, but I'm not on any daily prescriptions or over the counter meds, which I think is almost a miracle. So I am just so blessed to be able to say that. And my goal, I have sort of evolved what my purpose is, and I finally settled on it's to give hope to people to have a quality of life as they age. That's what I want for me. That's what I want for you. And I feel the holistic route is the best way. That's just my opinion. And I started this series because I think there's a lot of myths about what holistic means and who it might be for. And it's actually for anyone who has an open mind to maybe look at their health in a different way and in a more proactive, preventative way, because the healthcare system is really a disease treatment system. And I don't think it's working. So I want to look at a different way. And each week I talk about emotional wellness or physical wellness or spiritual wellness, or the topic sometimes includes one, two, or three. Tonight, we're going to talk mostly about physical wellness. And the topic for tonight is chronic pain. And this is week 42, and it just seems crazy that I've had that many episodes already. So I want to first talk about the difference between acute pain and chronic pain. So acute pain is it can be mild, but not necessarily. It could be sharp, but the main thing is it either lasts a moment or, a week or, several weeks or months, but it's temporary. It's not something that is, chronic. So for instance, I tore my rotator cuff, and um, the it was so painful at a point. It got worse and worse and worse from playing racquetball and hockey, just using that right arm all the time, and uh, the I couldn't even open a car door. And so I thought, okay, this is I need to do something. So I had the surgery, and after it was, I had the physical therapy, and had time to heal. There was no pain. I don't even think about it and haven't for years. So that is acute pain. Or maybe you were in the garden for a couple of hours and then your back and knees are hurting. You soak in Epsom salts and oils, and the next day you're good. So that's acute pain. It goes away. Chronic pain does not. And I've experienced that as well. So this is a little personal to me, and I'm warning you, I may go a little over because it is personal, and I feel so passionate about this. Now that we know the difference between acute and chronic pain, I want to go over 4 of the common types of chronic pain. And chronic pain is a big thing. 8 of every 10 American adults are going to experience chronic pain. That's a big number. One of the most common is chronic back pain, and this will experience no less than 84% of the adults. that's really high. And what some of those conditions are, slipped or bulging disc. And what I want to say here, because this is my experience, uh, if you have chronic lower body pain, and you've tried everything, you've tried the chiropractor and injections and all those things, and you're still in chronic pain, have your doctor do a discogram. That is the one test that no one had done that proved the answer to me, for me. So just pass that along. I have more information on my website, hopeessential.com, or just Google discogram. And the other thing I learned was, just because you have a bulging disc does not mean you have pain. The majority of the people walk around with bulging discs and there's no pain. I had 2 bulging discs and only one was bad. So you need to understand how all that, what all that means, and do your research. I firmly believe surgery is the last thing. There's risk, and I had tried everything. So, I don't have any regrets. I'm a little annoyed that the medical community could not figure it out for 4 years, but it is what it is. So the other kind of back pain, spinal stenosis, compression fractures, soft tissue damage, spinal fractures, and then structural deformities such as scoliosis. Now, again, I didn't know about a lot of these holistic modalities back then. I'm not sure it would have helped since it was a specific structural thing. I don't know. But I know now I would have tried other things as well first. Um, Chiropractor, uh, acupuncture, and I did try some of these. Yoga, and don't dismiss yoga as something that can actually heal something, because I've heard a lot of stories. Um, and the hyperbaric oxygen therapy, that's something you need to research. It sounds very fascinating, and these are all zero risk. So those are things to maybe think about. Don't I hope that you don't just jump to medications and injections, because there are potential side effects to those. So I know in trying to treat my pain, they suggested some medications where I read this possible side effects, and it scared me so much. It was like, no, I'll figure something else out. Not judging anyone who does, but it just was not for me. Chronic headaches. This is something I can relate to as well. As a kid, I had so many headaches. What I know now is it was probably cigarette smoke and mold on the windows. And of course, I just popped the Aleve, and that, for that, didn't know any better. And then I've had tension headaches, but my main ones are the migraines. Fortunately, I don't have as many now, and they're not as potent. But back then, I didn't really know the triggers, and I didn't understand how gut health is so tied to your overall health. And so when you have your first migraine, typically, I know most of us run to the neurologist because we think we have a brain tumor and we're going to die. It's that painful. And once you know that's not the case, you typically are told to keep a headache diary and try to figure out those triggers. So if you aren't chronic migraines and those types of headaches, tension, eye strain headaches, migraines, and cluster headaches, take these steps first before you go to the doctor if you want. Keep a headache diary. Try to figure out your triggers. So it could be not enough sleep. It could be food sensitivities, stress, and barometric pressure. You would think there's not much you can do about the barometric pressure, but I am living proof that through improving my gut health and adding certain supplements, um, I don't know why, but I'm so much better now. So I'm happy about that, that the weather doesn't control if I can have a good day or not. Um, and of course, you're not going to try these things in the middle of a terrible headache. But when you're trying to get to the root of it, that was why I first started seeing a chiropractor. Was I was pregnant with my first child, and all they could give me at the doctor's office was Tylenol with codeine. And I didn't want to do that because of the baby. And also I had to work. So I went to the chiropractor and he helped me. And I went for over 20 years in Dallas. So that's getting to the root. It was all in my neck, and I could get to where I could feel one coming, go see him, and I wouldn't get one. So that was really helpful. Acupuncture, yoga, meditation, again, the hyperbaric oxygen therapy, and also salt therapy has been known to help with headaches. So again, before I knew the holistic lifestyle, I tried Botox, I tried a lot of different things, but now I know to work from the inside out, and gut health is huge. So the next one I want to talk about is chronic joint pain. And it says that it's the leading type of chronic pain among American adults, and affects over 51 million Americans. That's roughly one of every two adults. That's pretty scary. The thing I wanted to sort of get across here is we have been told that arthritis is just part of getting older. And I want to claim BS on that. Arthritis is about inflammation. Inflammation is gut health. So if you control inflammation, you are going to control those, the arthritis and those other things. So I think this is hopefully going to get you to think a little bit about what we've just sort of been led to believe and we haven't questioned. And so I just want to say, research it, go outside the American medical profession to do your research, and just research holistically about these things. And inflammation has caused a lot of chronic diseases, MS, and the rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis, bursitis, and tendonitis. A lot of these autoimmune disorders. And I've heard stories from someone I know personally who is a registered dietitian that just through dietary and lifestyle changes for 30 days, she has seen patients either lessen their medication or just see huge improvement. 30 days. Is it simple? Yes. Is it easy? No. Because we have established these habits of eating junk food and so forth. But the medications for joint pain, chronic joint pain, they're expensive, and a lot of them have very strong possible side effects. And so you have to choose, what it is you want to do. And it's up to you. I'm not judging. I'm just saying you do have a choice. Doctors won't say that because they're not taught that. But holistically, the idea is, preventative and being proactive and getting to the root. There's a reason you have that much inflammation in your body, and you need to get to the root of it. And it may not be diet. It may be heavy metals. It may be a parasite. You don't know. So instead of masking the symptoms and being on really harsh medications the rest of your life, which are going to probably hurt your organs, why not at least rule out these other things, these other ways of diagnosing what's going on? So the other one, the fourth one, is chronic nerve pain. And 1 in every 10 Americans is going to have to experience this. Sciatica, this is something very common, but it's also, I think, probably one of the not easier, but might be able to turn around quicker. You can Google for exercises, chiropractors help. Just laying on a tennis ball right on that spot and moving a little bit to like a trigger point massage, sort of, helps me. Getting up and walking if you've been sitting too long, try to figure out those triggers as well. I know sometimes chairs, if you're sitting in a desk chair that's not good for you, that will trigger that. The wrong shoes will sometimes do that as well. But chiropractors, um, physical therapy, yoga, ultrasound, laser therapy, acupuncture, the hyperbaric oxygen therapy, those things may help as well, for all of these things. Diabetic neuropathy, that's one that's near and dear to me, because of what it's done to my family. But the thing is, and it's usually on your hands and feet, type 2 diabetes can be reversed. Again, is it easy? No. You have to commit to making those, dietary changes and lifestyle changes. But when you see what the path is, going down the standard route, why not investigate what it looks like, treating it holistically? So if you're pre-diabetic, I really, really encourage you to research how to prevent it. And if you are already a type 2 diabetic, research on how to reverse it. There's a lot of different ways. And if you want to contact me to find out what I've researched, please feel free to do that. And it's not a one size fits all. It takes a village to be well. So there's no magic pill. There just isn't. So the thing that okay, so I know I get too excited. I'm so passionate about this. So the third one, the third one is carpal tunnel, and this one I have not personally experienced it, but I will say that from the people I know, probably 3/4 of them who have had the surgery, it did not help. So please explore other options before you do that, because any kind of surgery is a risk. And I just want to give you hope that if you have been told your only choice is some harsh medication, I want you to please contact me, and I will do everything I can to find a holistic approach to it. I don't have all the answers. And the point of this series is not to give you all the answers. It's just to open your mind to a different approach to your health. So the thing that I want to impress upon you is you can choose to pay now and be proactive and preventative about your wellness. And then you have a hope for a quality of life as you age. Or you're going to pay later and you're going to be paying to treat disease, and you probably won't have that quality of life. Because when you get on 2 and 3 and 4 medications, they start having all these side effects, and you take medications for side effects, and it's just a mess. And you are never able to get off them. So please, please, please research. Don't take what I say as gospel. Research what you hear here. And I would love to know if anything resonated with you, if there was an aha moment. And if you've had a success story, I would love to hear it. And be sure and like my Hope Essential LLC business page and check out my website, hopeessential.com. And you can find the other uh, Facebook Lives in this series and others. And you can catch up if you missed any. So till next time, choose you, choose natural, choose now.